Hello everyone. This is a message for students. I know that some parents will obviously view it as well, but I'm intending this primarily for our students. And it's rare that we do a few of these so close together. We recorded one on Friday, and at that stage we were contemplating what might happen if there was a COVID confirmed case in our school and how we'd manage closure and a range of things like that. And obviously Sunday's announcements regarding a return to remote learning changed the landscape again significantly for us. So today, being Monday, is the last day of face-to-face teaching and learning. We have Tuesday as a day of or student-free day, and teachers will be preparing, and then on Wednesday remote teaching and learning commences again for a period of 6 weeks. So we return to school for face-to-face teaching and learning the last week of term 3. We have a 2-week break for holidays, and then we've got 4 weeks after that before exams commence. So what that means is that students really need to be on their toes this time around. I think last time we went through remote learning, we had an opportunity to catch up with students afterwards, reinforce the learning, provide some catch-up support to students who might have slipped behind or needed help in certain areas. We'll have an opportunity to do that again this time around, but it's a much shorter period of time that will be available. So it's really important that students are on the job, and I'll come back to a couple of things about that in a moment. First of all, I hope that by the time you see this, every student has collected what they need from school and taken that home with them. Laptops, textbooks, exercise books, anything else that they might need from school needs to be home. If for some reason you find that there's something you've left here at school, or you're away today and you need to pick it up, you'll be able to do that as from Wednesday. We will have some students on site, a limited number, but students who for one reason or another are vulnerable or need particular support. Well, as we did last time, we'll support those students through the library as our space where that occurs. We'll have staff supervising those students. They'll be undertaking remote learning, but in a supervised and supportive fashion. So if you're one of those students who has left something at school and you need to come in and pick it up, then you would come to the library. We will temperature check. We will make sure that sanitiser's been applied, you'll be wearing a mask, and we'll help you to go to your locker to get whatever it is that you need. The other questions that students might be asking are about exams and what this means for exams. I think there's still some further advice coming out from the VCAA about exams, but what we know at the moment is that the VCAA intends to continue with all of the exams that it has scheduled. So if you have an oral exam in a language, or I think we have extended investigation orals coming up soon, if you're involved in a performance exam for music, for example, all of those things will continue as planned unless we hear otherwise. There are relatively small numbers of students involved. They can be done in a controlled manner, and I expect that that's the reason that the plan is to continue, and it's very important that those students have those opportunities. So assume that those will continue, and certainly the main exam period, the written examinations, commencing very early in November and continuing through until the very beginning of December, those will certainly run as planned. Results will come out the same day that 8Rs are delivered, on the 30th of December. So all of those things remain in place, and we will support students to get ready for those things. So back to what has to happen over the next 6 weeks and what students need to do. Please be switched on. This is not an opportunity, or it's not a time when students can become a little more casual about their studies. They really need to be switched on. Don't get out of your normal sleep and study patterns, please. We know that happened last time. We know we had some students who were staying up till all hours of the night and then sleeping in late and sometimes missing classes. We can't afford to have that happening. You can't afford to have that happening. So students, you really need to be where you need to be and doing work at the right time. Each of your teachers will deliver at least one live session each week using Google Meets, and all of your other work will go into Compass. Even if you're using Google Classroom, which some of our students, teachers and students are, you know that'll be available through Google Classroom, but that will also appear in Compass. So if you're a parent wanting to check, if you're a student wanting to check where your work is found, that's where you'll find it in Compass. And as I said, you may find it in Google Classroom if you're using that. The live sessions are critically important. Students, you must switch your cameras on and you must tune in, and please try to stay up to date with your work. As we did last time, we'll have a significant team of our student coordinators, support staff, and a range of other people making contact with families where we can see evidence that students aren't engaging or are slipping behind. So we're going to do our very best to support you. We can't make up for what you won't do. So please, I'm sounding like a broken record, but you need to be tuned in and you need to be engaged and you need to be working really hard. One of the good things about this arrangement is that everybody in the state is being treated equally. It would have been really difficult across Victoria in terms of determining VCE grades if students in some parts of the state, like Melbourne, had been in remote learning and the rest of the state had been teaching and learning face-to-face. This way, everybody is on a level playing field, and that will provide some consistency and predictability in terms of student performance, because ultimately, your study scores and your ATAR, it's all comparative. You're being compared with other students. So everybody's being treated equally. The intention still is to get our exams delivered and results out on time. I know it's a difficult year. Year 12 is a milestone year for all of you. So many of you are turning 18, you're getting licenses, you're registering to vote, and it's a culminating year of your school journey, and so many of those things have been interrupted for you, but you can do it. I know you can do it, and we've had difficult times in our country before. I thought about filming this today in James King Hall, where I could turn and point at the honour boards behind me that showed how many hundreds of our former students marched straight out of here and off to war, and what difficult times it was for them. We know that during the period of the First World War that there was a pandemic, the Spanish flu, that swept through Australia, and thousands and thousands of people died. This is a really extraordinary time internationally and here in Australia, and you're living through it, we're all living through it, and yes, it's extraordinarily difficult, and it's an interruption to everything that you hoped and might have occurred throughout 2020 for you. But persevere, you can do it. Our school motto, keep at it, vincit. He conquers who endures. You need to persevere. You need to persevere. You need to stick at it. And take those lessons away. Remember our value around optimism and focusing on being positive and focusing on solutions rather than problems. It's going to be difficult at times over the next 6 weeks. Your level of motivation is going to fluctuate. You might find it difficult managing your time. You need to do those things. As a responsible young adult, take some responsibility, do the very best that you can to get on top of things, and we will be here every step of the way to support you, and we will really enjoy coming back here before the end of the term to see you face to face. I'm going to be in touch again progressively over the coming weeks, obviously. Probably a limited number of these types of messages, but keep your eye on Compass, please. Keep your eye on our Facebook page and our website. That's our best way of communicating with you. Good luck for everything that's coming up. I know our teachers are working hard and frantically to be ready for Wednesday. You need to be ready to go as well. Good luck, everyone, and I'll look forward to seeing you on the other side of this. Thanks.